This is my story. I have obstructive sleep apnea. Yes, I have sleep apnea, OSA. I'm Dr. Howard Hoffman, and I snore. So what? It's just noise. That's what I thought. I was wrong. I've always been a big snorer. I was told I was really a big-time snorer. In college, by my roommates, my wife, my kids, they all complained. My kids wanted separate rooms when we were on vacations. I was diagnosed with sleep apnea in 1997. At that time, I had no idea what sleep apnea was all about. Not a clue. Just an obscure problem that didn't concern me. Now I know differently. I've been treating people and helping people just like you and me for over 20 years who suffer with sleep apnea. You need to know you're not alone. I welcome you here and would like to share with you my experiences in getting help for my own sleep apnea problem, a problem that I didn't know I had, nor was I seeking treatment for this strange condition. Statistics tell us that 90% of the people who have obstructive sleep apnea have not even been diagnosed yet. That's an estimated 40 million people in the U.S. have sleep apnea, 1 in 5 adults. Obstructive sleep apnea has reached epidemic numbers. Its prevalence is growing exponentially with the fattening of America and the typical American lifestyle. Obstructive sleep apnea kills. Obstructive sleep apnea is deadly. Obstructive sleep apnea causes pulmonary hypertension and stroke. Obstructive sleep apnea makes almost every medical condition worse and harder to control, and hardly anyone is told to get tested and treated. I know. It happened to me. I had to figure it out on my own. Obstructive sleep apnea is the most commonly undiagnosed common disease. It was a daunting process finding the right doctors, getting tested, trying different treatments, and working through the insurance quagmire. In 1997, at a TMJ dental conference, I was introduced to a dental mouthpiece, kind of like a retainer, which is used in place of using the CPAP machine. That's when I learned more about OSA. I was shocked to learn how serious it is. When I learned about the symptoms, it sounded like me. But how could I have sleep apnea? Wouldn't my doctor have told me to get tested if he thought I was a candidate? I ultimately got tested, and I found out I had severe sleep apnea. I didn't know there were different types of sleep apnea, rated as mild, moderate, or severe. I was told to use a CPAP machine, continuous positive air pressure. It looks like a hairdryer sitting on the nightstand with a hose and a mask. And it blew air all night long down my throat. I hated it. I was tethered to the side of the bed. I couldn't roll over. Had to sleep on my back. I couldn't wet my lips. And if I had to get up to go to the bathroom, what a project. There were some nights that I really did feel great using it. However, who wants to go to sleep with a mask strapped to your face? Really? I kept wondering, why didn't my doc say something? He was about my age, out of medical school for over 25 years. I learned later that up until about 5-10 years ago, medical students didn't have but 1 or 2 days tops learning about sleep apnea. And what if he slept through that class? The gatekeeper doctors are so busy that many sleep apnea victims are slipping through the cracks who should be tested. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine has recommended that all patients, all of them, with hypertension or diabetes should be tested for sleep apnea. Did I mention obstructive sleep apnea is deadly? I got scared. I didn't feel like I used to feel. I was old, but I really wasn't old. And now I thought I would never reach that point. Not the way I felt. I didn't know what to do. I was really worried. I was on blood pressure meds, overweight, and miserable on the inside. More often than not, my wife slept on the couch. My employees thought I was a big grouch. I became lethargic and depressed at home and at work. I had to get tested find and spend the night in a sleep lab, make all of the arrangements, and I deal with the insurance company. Did I want this to show up on my medical records? Would this come back to haunt? Would it affect my ability to work? What would be the recommended treatment? Would I have to sleep with a mask on my face attached to a machine with a hose? That's for old sick people. I needed answers, a solution. Why wasn't my doc taking me seriously? Or the insurance company? Why didn't they seem to care? I was afraid to go to sleep. It kept me up nights. I didn't have the energy to follow up. Was I going to die soon? Were they going to say he died peacefully in his sleep? Really? Hell, my sleep was anything but peaceful. And then it hit me. There was only one person who really cared about me getting better. I became my own advocate. I read everything that I could get my hands on about sleep and sleep apnea. I learned what I had to do. I figured out how to get through the system. It wasn't easy, but I simplified it for me. I took control. I developed my own personal action plan. I found the right doctors. I worked through the insurance debacle, and I am here to tell you that I survived it. I am me again. I work out almost every day. I know that I may not look it. Let's face it, I still like eating all the wrong stuff in moderation. I got tested and I got treated. I'll never be cured. We still can't cure sleep apnea, but like diabetes, if we're careful and we do all the right things, we can manage it. I get to speak to a lot of people every day who have sleep apnea. The story is always the same. I hear the uncertainty, the fear. I hear the self-denial, the excuses. I just snore a little bit. I just have to lose a few pounds. It's no big deal. Let me tell you, it is a big deal. However, there's a lot of help out there right now. Follow the link for my free guide, How to Select Your Sleep Apnea Doc. You'll be glad you did, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.